What is up, everybody? It's your boy DFS Up North, and we are back with another 10 under 10 DFS Army podcast where I talk about my 10 favorite plays on DraftKings and Fanduel, all projecting for under 10% owned, helping you take down a GPP with that low owned stud or that guy that breaks the slate. We are going to get right into it because if you're anything like me, you don't got any time, right? I watch the Players Club at like 2x today, and like I need just a short little bit of information to help me take it down. So if you're like me, like I said, this is the podcast for you. You just don't got the time to do it. So let's get into it here, everybody. We're gonna talk about DraftKings first today, then we will move over to FanDuel. And you know what? Some of these guys do cross over, so if they do, I will tell you that as well. But we've got my first guy here, QB this week, is Drake May, potential MVP candidate, 2.32% owned with a 24-point implied total in a massively blow up potential game against Buffalo. I am all over Drake May here. I don't know, like, the price isn't that high. I like him on both sides. We'll talk about him on FanDuel in a little bit here too. The price isn't that high. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me that he would not be 20% owned in this spot, right? I think that we get the Bills are going to throw the ball a ton here. The Pats are a pass funnel defense, and they're mediocre. They're okay, but Josh Allen is going to have his way. Drake May is going to have to throw it a ton here. I love the Stephon Diggs revenge narrative. He's going to be listed below as well, but Kayshon Boutte, Hunter Henry, run it back with Khalil Shakir, or actually Dalton Kincaid, who I probably like even more. This is a game that I'm going to have a ton of pieces of. So it's going to essentially be one of those weeks where it's a big slate this week. We've got 13 games, but if this game doesn't blow up for 50 plus total points, I'm gonna have a rough week. All right, so I'm putting a bunch of my eggs in this basket here, but it starts for me with Drake May. The other guy that I like a ton is, again, we're lots of revenge narratives this week. Last week it was like former Minnesota Vikings quarterbacks. This week the theme is revenge narratives, and that is Jared Goff going back to Los Angeles to play against the Rams. Another game that I fully expect to blow up, and so does Vegas with the 55-point total. Jared Goff, 6,100. The Rams D is good, not great. You play him with Jameson Williams. You play him with Amon-Ra. If you want to get silly, I think you could just go Jared Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs. I think that could be a sneaky little milli maker play. Maybe you throw Amon-Ra in there too, but it's going to be pretty expensive to do that. But yeah. Love Goff this week. I think that you run it back with Kyren Williams instead of Puka or Devontae Adams. I think the best, one of the better ways to attack these guys or attack the Lions will be on the ground, even though they've been tough and their secondary is beat up. I do think we will see Kyren Williams. So I think what I think we'll see is that I think we'll see the Rams move the ball on the field through the air. When they get towards the goal line, the Lions are going to bend, don't break. But we're going to see them pound the ball with Kyren Williams. I think we have a multiple touchdown game coming. Don't get fooled by the Blake Corum stats from last week. Mostly in garbage time. All right. This is Kyren Williams' show here. Love him. Continuing down, we got JT. We don't know who is starting yet. We got Rivers. We got Riley Leonard. I wonder if we actually have heard that yet. I'm not 100% sure we've heard that yet. Who is starting? But either way, I think that Jonathan Taylor is going to be under-owned. Right. Let me see. I'm looking up on my phone here. See if we got a starter yet. Rivers. Overview. They signed him from the practice squad. That means that he is playing Sunday. All right, so we got Rivers here, which actually makes me feel better about this play even. I think we see JT get 25 plus touches. I get that Seattle is tough, but he's going to get there on volume alone. Love JT against the Seahawks here. Even though we have that 14-point implied total, I do think that the Colts will go over that. All right. Chase Brown, we've talked about him in this podcast multiple times recently. I am going to continue to pound Chase Brown until his price or ownership goes up. For some reason, neither is happening. All right. Good spot against the Browns. 22 ranked against opposing running backs. Just an elite back. Like, he is an easy plug and play, core play for me this week. Wide receivers, quiet week last week for Rashee Rice. He's going to come back here and smash against the Chargers. Oh, we just messed up again. All right, let me get back to this here. NFL. But Rashee Rice, I think, is a smash play this week. The Chiefs have basically nothing to play for. They're not mathematically eliminated yet, but they're going to have a day. So I am high on Rice here. I think that he gets back in the mix with another 25-point game. And then we talked about the revenge narrative. There is no one pettier in the NFL than Stephon Diggs. If you think that he is not going to be trying to ball out here against his former team, you are silly, right? Love this spot. Jacoby Myers has really found a spot in this Jacksonville Jaguars offense. He gets a massive spot against the New York Jets. Really found a home here. 22 targets in the last 2 weeks. He's an elite value. Love him. The ownership is getting up there. It's 8% here, but still just a smash play. And then I think that Stroud and the Texans are a little bit sneaky here against Arizona. I love Nico Collins. He's a great play. He's a much better play on FanDuel where he is under owned here. But Jaden Higgins is a guy that's trending in the right direction, getting multiple targets a game. He's mega cheap. If you are looking for somebody that just you're playing some studs, you need a guy for cheap that fills out your lineup. I think Jaden Higgins is that guy. Another cheapie that I love is Colston Loveland. I love Loveland, right? Starting to look that part. He's starting to look the part. Now, we got some issues with just Caleb Williams, the Browns defense, DJ Moore, all these other options. But Loveland, you see that run he went on last week? This guy looks like a future stud. Ben Johnson is going to continue to get him involved. Cheap price. And then defense that I love on both sites this week is Carolina. They are starting to come around as a defense. This is the NFC South leading Carolina Panthers. I get they go on the road to New Orleans. And Tyler Shuck actually has looked decent, not terrible the last 2 weeks, but he's still turning the ball over. I think this Panthers defense has a day and dominates against the New Orleans Saints. I almost said New England Saints there. Switching gears here now. We're going over to FanDuel, right? I think Drake May is an even better play on FanDuel. He gets 4%. Oh, double the ownership on FanDuel. It's still ridiculous. The price is higher. I get it. But if Drake May runs one in here, watch out. He is winning a GPP. Marcus Mariota is a guy that is the exact opposite of that, right? He's mega cheap. Washington looked terrible last week, but it was mostly Jaden Daniels against the Vikings. Now they get the Giants, who are a pretty poor defense, right? You compare him with TMC. I think here's my concern about Marcus Mariota is seeing Deebo Samuel pop up on the injury report, and it's okay, does he realize this season's lost and he's just not going to play? He's going to hold himself out. That's a little concerning to me. But Mariota can run the ball. Definitely a sneaky play. Kinshawn Judkins not getting any ownership. And to be honest, it's a little bit rightfully so, just because of the issues with the offensive line. I could potentially start on their offensive line on against the Bears here, but a volume type of play and a guy that, Shedeur is going to throw the ball. Let's say they don't get in. We could see a multiple tutty game from Kinshawn Judkins. And then we talked about Kyren Williams already. We love him, even though it's a tough spot against Detroit. Again, similar scenario that I think that we see him get multiple touchdown passes here, or multiple touchdowns carries here, or that's not a likelihood, right? But there's the potential for that. Whereas you look at some of these other wider or running backs in that range that are similarly priced, similarly owned. They don't have, it's like an Aaron Jones, right? And that's a Sunday night game, but he just doesn't have multiple TD upside most nights, whereas Kyren Williams does. Talked a little bit about Collins. The price is high. He's sort of that right in that tier of stud receivers. But you know what? He can get there. This is a great spot. GPP winner written all over him. I said, love Devonta Smith. People are talking about AJ Brown. Don't sleep on Devonta Smith against the Raiders here. Stephon Diggs, revenge narrative, petty. He's going to do it. And then Alec Pierce, right? I think that Rivers is going to throw the ball 20-ish times. I wouldn't be surprised to see 15 of those passes go to Alec Pierce or Tyler Warren, right? Old man, not going to be able to move very much. He's going to look for that slot receiver. He's going to look for the tight end. So I think that Alec Pierce has some decent upside here against Seattle. Dalton Kincaid looked great last week. We saw Allen throw another touchdown pass to Jackson Haas. The tight ends against New England, I think, are a great way to attack this defense. I don't understand the ownership here. I get the prices a little bit high. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And then we got the Carolina Panthers again. I did it in under 10 minutes. Look, here's the deal. We got tons more information on the site. You want to become a DFS Army VIP, use that code, 10% off, and you get access to all of our cheat sheets. You get access to all of our tools, the Domination Station Optimizer. You get it for everything, all right? Don't be afraid to become a member here. Give yourself a little Christmas gift, right? takes you through the holidays. We got tons of weird like mini slates going off. And I tell you what, those 3 gamers, those 2 gamers, those weird little slates where there's a couple of games here and there on a Saturday. I think we got one again next week. Those are the type of slates that like, I think we do everything well at DFS Army, but we smash those slates. And you know what really smashes those slates? Domination Station Optimizers. So don't be afraid. Give yourself a little Christmas gift. Use that code GEEK. Get yourself 10% off. Hope this helped. Cheers, everybody. Good luck this week.